Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News.
Right now on WMBF News, a Darlington couple is charged with child neglect, what they're accused of doing to their children.
Plus, a man charged in connection to a shooting captured on Facebook Live, denied bond for a second time. His plea to the judge during today's hearing.
Then, new details in a deadly golf cart crash, how a woman is being charged. Thanks for joining us on WMBF News. I'm Anthony Hardy.
And I'm Noelle Lashley. First, our top story tonight, Sidney Moore, the man accused of kidnapping Heather Elvis, returned to an Horry County courtroom today.
This hearing meant to discuss motions ahead of obstruction of justice trial set for August.
The defense used the hearing to outline evidence it wants to keep out of the upcoming trial.
A piece of that evidence the interviewer Moore gave to Horry County Police on December 20th, 2013, days after Elvis disappeared. The defense argues the interview is in violation of Moore's Miranda rights.
One of the detectives who conducted that interview was called to the stand by the prosecution. He explained why Moore was called in for further investigation and that he went to the police station voluntarily.
It was December 19th. We had begun an investigation into the missing person, Heather Elvis. We had identified that she had through cell phone records, she had a lot of contact with Mr. Moore on the night of the incident. It was my understanding he had provided a statement to patrol the night before, which seemed a little off from what we were finding on the cell phone records. So he was brought in and an interview was started.
After Martin's testimony, the 45-minute interview was played on the court. Judge Markley Dennis has not yet ruled whether or not to allow the interview during the trial set for August 28th, saying he will take both sides' arguments under advisement.
We also want to update you on a hearing that was scheduled for Sidney's wife, Tammy. She was set to go before the judge today on a contempt of court charge. However, that hearing has been delayed. No word yet on when she will appear in court. She is accused of violating the gag order surrounding the case.
Good Wednesday morning. Sunny today, beautiful, a little bit warmer than yesterday, 87 the afternoon high, and then tomorrow hitting 87 again, but you will feel the humidity for sure by tomorrow. Enough humidity around to prompt a 20% chance of some showers and storms. Thursday with higher rain chances as we make our way into the weekend. Across the PD, we'll hit a high today of 90.
This just into the breaking news center. The Robinson County Sheriff's Office is investigating a deadly shooting. Officials say 22-year-old Gregory Harris Jr.'s body was found early yesterday morning at Cafe 71. That's in Lumber Bridge. They say he was laying in the parking lot near the gas pumps. Officials are interviewing people and reviewing video surveillance to help find a suspect.
We have an update on the bodies found in Bucksville earlier this month. The Horry County Deputy Coroner identified the couple as 64-year-old Linda McAllister and 45-year-old William Clemens. The couple's remains were found in the woods near Browns Chapel Road on July 15th. Horry County police are investigating the couple's deaths as a homicide. The alleged suspects, Kenneth Wayne Carlisle and Jordan Marie Hodge, were previously arrested and charged with murder. Carlisle and Hodge are also charged with financial transaction card fraud.
New details. For the second time, bond was denied for the man charged in connection to the shooting on Ocean Boulevard. The incident went viral after it was captured on Facebook Live. Raekwon Graham went back before a judge after the wrong criminal history was read during his initial bond hearing Friday. He faces 6 counts of attempted murder for the shooting June 18th that left 7 hurt. During the hearing, Graham asked the judge to consider that he turned himself in and said that he just wanted to go back to school in North Carolina. The judge, though, deemed him a flight risk and a danger to the community.
More details now on that Father's Day weekend shooting seen by millions of people across the country. For the first time, we are hearing from the man whose car was stolen after the shots were fired. WMBF News reporter Julian Williams joins us with more.
Yes, during the Ocean Boulevard shooting, authorities say the gunman carjacked a man after firing several gunshots, and the victim in that carjacking was Quentin Vanderberg.
I'm just blessed, you know what I mean? It's crazy. The only thing I can really think about is that gun. Staring at that barrel of that gun, it makes you think about a whole bunch of things in life.
That was Quentin Vandenberg's reaction after he says the gunman in the Facebook Live shooting carjacked him to get away. It was supposed to be a weekend full of celebration for Vandenberg.
It was my birthday the week before that, and my family had a family gathering for me on my birthday, so I didn't get to do it too much. So I went to the beach for my birthday, actually.
The night of June 17th started off as a quiet, normal night for the Charlotte native, but it quickly took a turn for the worst.
I was going to get something to eat, come back from getting something to eat. I seen a group of people, man. I thought they was partying because I seen somebody jumping on the car. Next thing I know, I heard 2 gunshots. When I heard that second gunshot, I tried to move the car, but then I heard a whole bunch of gunshots, so I didn't really know which way to go because the bullets sounded like they was right there at the car.
In the next few moments, Vandenberg says he was face to face with the gunman.
I tried to look around and see which way I could go to get away from the whole scene, but I had my head turned to the right-hand side, and Rakim, the passenger rider, he was like, he's got a gun. And I said, who got it? By the time I was like, who got a gun? He was right there at my window, told me to get the F out of the car.
Vandenberg's car was a rental, and when he got it back from police 2 days later, he said there were some bloodstains left inside. Despite what happened, Vandenberg says he was able to keep his composure.
Anything can happen at any given time. I wasn't scared. I felt like he was going to shoot me. I looked at him. I looked at that man real good, and I think he would have shot me. I just don't think he had any more bullets.
Vandenberg told me that he's not going to let this incident stop him from living his life, as he plans to come back to Myrtle Beach here very soon. Reporting live at Ocean Boulevard, Julian Williams, WMBF News.
One man is charged with murder after a man was shot in Gallivan's Ferry. Jonathan Allen is accused of killing 43-year-old Boyd Wayne Graham. Horry County Police say Allen was arrested Monday. Days earlier, on July 20th, police say Graham was found in his home on Grain Lloyd Road in a pool of blood with severe injuries to his face and neck. A police report first described Graham as having a cut to his throat, but today police say he died after being shot.
A North Myrtle Beach woman is charged with reckless homicide for causing a deadly golf cart wreck. Diane Hunter was arrested Friday, one day after officials say she rear-ended a golf cart on 15th Avenue South. Hunter originally told police she swerved to avoid an animal, but police say it happened after she sped past a van, went off the road and hit mailboxes, trash cans, and recycling bins. 65-year-old Catherine Snipes was thrown from the golf cart and died. Another person on the cart was flown to Grand Strand Medical Center. Hunter was released from jail Saturday on a $13,500 bond.
Arlington, South Carolina, has been charged and arrested with 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor. Investigators allege that over a 2-year period, Hutchinson did engage in the sexual acts with the victim under 14. Hutchinson is currently being held at the W. Glenn Campbell Detention Center on a $200,000 bond.
An update tonight on a Darlington couple now charged on multiple counts of child neglect. James Charlie Hawkins and Ida Gregg have each been charged with 5 counts of unlawful neglect of a child and 1 count of inflicting great bodily injury upon a child. Investigators allege between April and July of this year, Hawkins did inflict great bodily injury upon a child by striking them with electrical cords and other objects, leaving the child permanently disfigured. The case is still being investigated by Darlington County Sheriff's Special Victim Unit. The children are now in protective custody. Hawkins is being held on a $108,000 bond and Gregg is being held on a $90,000 bond. Both remain at the W. Glenn Campbell Detention Center tonight.
Kenneth Hoffman was officially sworn in as Surfside Beach's new chief of police after serving in the interim capacity since February. This is video from Hoffman's swearing-in ceremony this afternoon. He tells WMBF News he credits the people for his 21 wonderful years of policing. Chief Hoffman says the community's family-oriented atmosphere and strong values make Surfside Beach unique and is also a big part of the police department's success. He describes the department as transparent and community-oriented. As he begins his new role, he plans to be out in the field with officers and not glued to his office chair.
The Horry County Police Department has a new project to give you an inside look at a day in the life of a police officer. All you have to do is launch your Twitter app. Tweet from the Beat is a new social media campaign that gives you a chance to experience a virtual police ride-along. Horry County PD picks an officer to take over the department's Twitter account during their shift. That officer uses Twitter to provide updates about what's going on in the community and what people can do to help. It's also an interactive way to submit crime tips. The department hopes that involvement will help solve crimes. Officers also use Twitter to give safety tips and answer questions about things like when to update an out-of-state driver's license or what to do when flashing blue lights show up in your rearview mirror. Horry County Police Department spokeswoman Crystal Dotson hopes the project will strengthen the relationship between the community and police officers.
I just think it's important in today's day and age across the country for community residents to really see what the men and women deal with every day when they're in those cars, when they're out in the community, when they have on that uniform. And this was a great way for us to showcase that.
The Horry County Police Department hopes to tweet from the Beat 4 times a year. For updates on the next event, follow Horry County PD on Twitter. The Horry County School Board is changing who protects your children while in school in a decision that will save the school board $1 million. Board members agreed to replace deputies from the sheriff's office with more school resource officers from a private security company. U.S. Security Associates, a private company that provides security guards, already has some unarmed SROs in Horry County schools. But for years, most of the security in county schools was provided by the Horry County Police Department. That is about to change.
We've had a great relationship with Horry County Police these years, and budget concerns and all that, I think, started the process. But we have actually had this discussion 2 or 3 years ago about hiring private armed security because of the extra control that you have over the officers.
USSA presented its case at the school board meeting Monday. The board accepted the proposal and will bring in 18 armed SROs to patrol county schools.
They will be fully armed, bulletproof vests, fully trained, sled certified.
Before they can work, all of the new SROs must complete a 40-hour training course covering school security, active shooter scenarios, and more.
It's a pretty intensive course.
The board will save $1 million by switching from Horry County police officers to USSA officers. The new SROs will cost $550,000 per year. Another advantage of the new USSA officers? The board has more control over where the officers are during their shifts.
They don't leave the school. If we need them to walk the hallways, they will walk the hallways. If we need them to be at certain locations. So it's a big advantage in that sense.
The 16 Horry County police officers currently working in the schools will be phased out as the new SROs come in.
All those officers will just fold back in and be on regular patrol duty.
The school board agreed to a 1-year contract with USSA. The $550,000 cost is factored into the new budget beginning July 1st.
People from all over are coming together this weekend to put an end to stop the use of gun violence here in Myrtle Beach. A woman speaking at the event is using her own experience to help prevent future victims. WMBF News reporter Caitlin Merriman has her story.
Gwendolyn Reed Thomason is a 2-time victim of gun violence. Now she is educating others right here in Horry County.
How do you fight for one that's not there? You become their voice. You become a part of the solution.
Thomason has joined the fight for gun safety since the loss of both her father and sister due to gun violence.
I am a 2-time gun violence survivor. My father was shot and killed in 1987 when I was 11 years old. I had 14 brothers and sisters. My mother was 29. My sibling ranged from 15 to 2 months old. The baby that he left behind was shot and killed in 2013.
Thomason's father was killed while walking to buy a Mother's Day gift in Georgetown County.
He was shot 6 times.
Years later, her sister Ebony Parson was shot and killed at the Mill Pond Bingo Hall in Conway. According to Conway police, Parsons' boyfriend killed himself right after taking Ebony's life.
That shot my sister was a convicted felon. He bought the shotgun that he shot my sister with from a yard sale.
After the loss of her baby sister, Thomason knew she had to take a stand on gun violence.
The county that I live in, Horry County, I loved, there were more solutions, and I knew that there were families that felt like me. I started joining the gun violence prevention because I know we could not just let Ebony death be in vain.
According to the Brady campaign, South Carolina is #1 in the country for gun trafficking.
Gun violence, the way to curb it is to educate people about it.
Now, it's Thomason's goal to educate others on gun safety.
That's what I try to do, give other survivors a platform to know that they're not alone here in Horry County.
Thomason is working toward her goal by serving as a survivor education lead, community outreach leader for Moms Demand Action. She also founded an organization of her own in honor of her sister, Ebony's Hope.
We didn't live up to when one fight, we all fight. That's what my father taught us. So now we have our sister, and how do we fight? I fight this way. I'm not gonna do what he did, but I fight by educating my community. I fight by being a part of the solution. And I pray that if I touch one life, then I've saved a life, then I've done what I was called to do.
Thomason is one of many speaking at this gun violence event Saturday. The event will be held at 2:30 at the Chapin Library. Reporting in Myrtle Beach, Caitlin Merriman, WMBF News.
People have lived at this mobile home complex for years, but a mysterious letter in the mail is attempting to put that in jeopardy. We'll have the details coming up after the break.
Just into the breaking news center, the White House says Anthony Scaramucci is out as communications director. His departure comes just hours after the swearing in of President Donald Trump's new chief of staff, John Kelly, and just 11 days into his tenure. The White House says the decision was made to give the new chief of staff a clean slate.
People who live in a mobile home park in Lake City say they were ordered to move after a local nonprofit bought the land where their homes sit. I talked to people who call the area home about what they're going to do next.
It pissed me off. It was like, really? I can't believe this.
Cassandra Gilliard says she doesn't know why someone would sell the land that so many families call home.
I don't even know.
One thing she does know is
this is not right. No way, shape, form, or fashion. You can look at it upside down, you can throw it up and catch it. It's not right.
Wedgefield Mobile Home Complex is somewhere these people have called home for years.
I've lived here since '05. I've been here since 1986.
I've been here going on 18 years.
The people in this community say they are more than just neighbors.
That's our family around here, you know? You done been a place for 18 years and all of a sudden somebody come and want to uproot you.
But one letter from Greater Lake City Community Development is about to change that. The letter states that these people have 60 days to be off of the property.
60 days just ain't enough time for me to do what I got to do.
It's sad. It's sad.
I caught up with the spokesperson for the organization that bought the land. They say the 60-day time frame is not going to change.
Coming up, warmer weather may cause a few pop-up storms this weekend. What you need to know for your weekend plans in your First Alert forecast. Next.
Now, WMBF News First Alert meteorologist Marla Branson.
Good Wednesday morning. Sunny today, beautiful, a little bit warmer than yesterday, 87 the afternoon high. And then tomorrow, hitting 87 again, but you will feel the humidity for sure by tomorrow. Enough humidity around to prompt a 20% chance of some showers and storms. Thursday with higher rain chances as we make our way into the weekend. Across the PD, we'll hit a high today of 90.
This just into the breaking news center. A driver is facing charges after officials say they hit a contract employee for the South Carolina Department of Transportation along Highway 378. Officials with Highway Patrol say it happened around 11:45 this morning in Marion County while the contract crew was cutting grass. The worker was on the tractor when they were hit. They were flown to the hospital. The driver was also taken to the hospital and charged with driving too fast for conditions.
Socastee High School's brand new valedictorian is standing out tonight for more than her grades.
WMBF News reporter Julian Williams was at the ceremony where she shared the secret she's been holding for the past 12 years.
Yes, that secret? Cynthia Zavala Ramos revealed she's an illegal, undocumented immigrant.
We sit here today not only as a result of our own individual struggles, but as a result of the struggles of those who came before us.
Cynthia Zavala Ramos has many different titles. She's a high school graduate, a future Yale student, a Sunday school teacher, and an undocumented immigrant, something she was scared to speak about until today.
In order for me to tell my story, I needed to get to a podium, to a place where I had already proved my worth through academics.
At the age of 6, Ramos came to America from Honduras.
My journey was mainly on foot and on cargo trains. During the day, we would sleep in concrete homes where the windows were boarded up. They were safe houses throughout Guatemala and Mexico. And at night, we would go out and walk through the plains or through the desert or through roads, just so nobody would detect us.
Ramos says her family made the decision to leave Honduras because it just wasn't safe anymore. The turning point came when her father was involved in a car accident with a gang that soon after planned to come after her family. The Ramos family did not want to come into America illegally.
We're humans and we came here because we needed to come here. It wasn't to take anybody's jobs.
But didn't have the time or money to get here any other way.
I think one of the biggest obstacles for undocumented kids is that we have to grow up really quick. At 7 years old, 8 years old, I would be in restaurants and banks with adults speaking for them because they didn't know English, so I had to be the adult from a young age.
An experience that, while difficult at the time, helped shape her future.
Cynthia Jacqueline Zavala Ramos.
I didn't want to speak today because I was scared people were going to boo me or just going to walk out. But I started tearing up when the whole class stood up because, I don't know, I'm just amazed at how compassionate everybody is.
Ramos is the first person in her family to graduate from elementary and high school, and she says she's excited to start her new journey as a Yale University student in the fall. Reporting live in the studio, Julian Williams, WMBF News.
Good evening, I'm Austin Kelly. There's going to be a new master's program coming to Myrtle Beach, and it's in the form of an arena football team. The Myrtle Beach Masters will look to educate the rest of the USIFL in what they can do. At the helm of the Masters, head coach Ryan David, who looks to help guide this team to a strong first season. Taking the snaps at quarterback, Justin Johnson, who feels confident in this team and believes that they have what it takes to make a great season. The Masters have been hard at work at Market Commons, getting better to compete with the other teams in the league. So far, the Masters are 1-0 and proving that they belong in the league as they plan to stay here for the long run. Baseball is not only a sport, it's a business. 3 of the top Cubs prospects and the rest of the Myrtle Beach Pelicans learned that the hard way. The Cubs trade away their top prospect Eloy Jimenez along with infielders Bryant Fleete and Matt Rose from the Pelicans. In return, the Cubs receive left-handed pitcher Jose Quintana. Jimenez will leave the beach 6th in home runs, 5th in RBIs, and 3rd in batting average. These 3 birds will find a new nest with the Winston-Salem Dash. The trade happened during the final series between the two teams this season. With the 3rd and final game being canceled due to rain, it was time to say goodbye from the newly acquired Dash players to their former brothers. It was a sad sight, but at the end of the day, they must play their game. Switching now from the diamond to the gridiron. High school football is right around the corner, and the Red Foxes of Hartsville are looking forward to hopefully another strong season. It's a brand new year over in Hartsville, and you can bet that the Red Foxes have put last year's state title defeat in the past.
This is a different football team, different set of circumstances, different set of players, and it's up to us to create whatever we want out of this season.
Returning for his upcoming senior campaign and leading the offense is quarterback A.J. Joyner. Being a senior on this team comes with great responsibility and leadership. Coach Calabrese believes his QB is ready for the challenge.
His maturity and everything's starting to slow down for him a little bit. So we're very fortunate to have him. He's very talented.
Protecting Joyner and opening running lanes for the running backs is a task on paper most will think is a challenge. But Coach Calabrese is confident in his offensive line.
It all starts with our offensive line. Our offensive line, they're not the typicals, 6'6", 290s. Our kids are 200 pounds and can run, and that's what we use. And I think they would put the credit on them. They've been able to have success because, number one, they're very talented, but they have the holes to run through. And both of them are very unselfish, and I believe they would say that.
A rather moderate non-region schedule should prepare Hartsville for their region play as they hope to be back in the state playoffs.
It's all about making yourself to be the best football team you can be by the time you get to your conference. And then how well do you steamroll that into the playoffs, and that's what it's all about.
The Red Foxes will look to get the dice rolling in Hearts Vegas. They open the 2017 campaign at home against Lake City Friday, August the 18th.
playoffs for the
Bucks? Yeah, I really think they're going to make a strong push this year. They were in the state title last year, got defeated, but they got a strong team coming back, so I feel like they can make a good run.
We'll come back. This will be their year.
It'll be their year.
Well, that is all our time for tonight.
Your live local late-breaking headlines continue right now on WMBFnews.com.
We'll see you back here tonight at 11 for all the late-breaking details on the stories of the day. Have a great night.